Hi everybody, we are at the Phillips headquarters in West Kowloon, and it's a very exciting time of year because it is auction season. And this year's auctions are extra interesting because other than the regular Hong Kong auction, we also have the Toki Auction. Now the Toki Auction is a special thematic auction that Phillips has put together that's all about Japan. So it'll be watches sourced from Japanese collectors, or watches made as special editions for the Japanese market, or watches that are made by Japanese independents, which is obviously something that's very near and dear to my heart. And so I've put together two trays of just like interesting stuff that I wanted to talk through with you, so let's get to it. So we'll start with this, lot number 16. This is the modern Cartier tank Francaise, but this is a special edition made for the Japan market. And in fact, I was talking to the Cartier head of watches in Japan, and he was saying how he really wanted to make a special edition that was relatively affordable, accessible to a lot of people. And here it is. It's very wearable. It's the medium-sized quartz version, and the dial is this really beautiful kind of monochromatic two tones. They do the color by using a mixture of different finishes. So you have this kind of opaline and then this slightly darker brushed part to the dial. And I love the fact that they used a moonstone in the crown. So next up we have the Naoya Hida Type 1D2. This is lot number 115. One of my favorite watches in this auction, because I'm also very, very fond of the Type 1D. The 1D2 is the 1D rendered in gold. It's got a beautiful heft to it. The dial has been hand engraved, and actually the minutes track is also little pellets of gold that have been inlaid in. So actually, if you think about the number of components that comprise this dial, it's a lot. It's a beautifully, beautifully made thing. As a little bonus, Hida-san is actually offering the winner of this auction the opportunity to have the back engraved, so with your initials or some sort of design. So next up, lot number 111, a tourbillon made in 2012 by Masahiro Kikuno. I am delighted to see this. I've always wanted to see Kikuno-san's work, and I've actually never had a chance to look at it closely and properly. This is a relatively early example of his work. This tourbillon, along with another one, was kind of what launched his career as an independent watchmaker. And it's really beautiful. It's kind of not like anything else I've seen in the market before. The layout's super interesting. It's got this beautiful guilloche pattern on the front. The cage itself is this really unusual soft triangle shape, and the striping on the back, again, is something I've never seen before. It almost reminds me of a herringbone. The ratchet click also, super strong. I love it. If you have a chance and you're in Hong Kong, please, I implore you to come and see this one, because this one's really, really worth having a look at, worth having a little play with. So next, this fabulous piece of work, lot 112, is out of Masa's Pastime's workshop. This is a piece of work by one of the young watchmakers who works there, named Nayuta-san. And Nayuta-san conceived this incredible movement and this incredible design and built it out with the help of his colleagues at the workshop. I mean, that's what I love about Masa's Pastimes. Everything feels like a real team effort. Other than the fact that the movement has this incredibly long balance bridge and an oversized balance wheel, as well as just a really unusual shape and finish to the movement itself. The engraving. So there's an engraver at Masa's Pastime named Kei-san, and Kei-san is an incredibly skillful engraver, and he has done this wonderful floral pattern on the center of the dial. The case is actually in steel, so this is actually much lighter than the normal Nayuta Model A's that Masa's Pastime sells, and it makes it a unique piece. Check it out. Okay, so this is interesting. Lot 106. This is a Takano watch. So Takano is actually part of a group of independent watchmaking brands under the Precision Watch Company. And that is a company that is led by Hajime Asaoka, which many of you may already know. Probably his most famous brand is actually Kurono, but it also includes Otsuka Low-Tech, and they recently added Takano to the roster. So Takano is an old Japanese watchmaking brand that they're trying to revive, and they've basically taken a lot of the great things about Kurono, which has always been a good, accessible, affordable watch, and upgraded it. So the Takano, in terms of case, in terms of finishing, is totally at a different level. And also, because chronometry is so important to the Takano brand, everything goes to Besançon for a certification. They're very, very accurate, they're very, very beautifully made, and this is a brand that's underground for now, but will eventually find its foot globally. It's already very popular in Japan. I actually bought one of the production models because I really am into it, and this particular one is unique because of its pink dial. Okay, so this is fun. This is lot number 36, and it is a Rolex two-tone, the modern one, but the dial is wrong. So if you look at 9 o'clock, you might spot there's a little error there. Not sure how that one went through, but I have to say it's actually my first time seeing the two-tone modern, and it's really good, like nice fit. So next is lot 45, and I feel a little sad almost seeing this because I actually used to own one of these and I kind of regret letting it go. It's an incredible watch. This is the Eichi I. So the Eichi I platinum case, dialed by Noritake, which is a very famous porcelain maker in Japan. Noritake made the dial and painted the indices for Credor. They even made this tiny little inlay for the crown as well. For the Eichi IIs, Seiko had to bring this process in-house because Noritake was just like, we're not making these anymore, it's way too hard. And the quality of the work is just incredible. If you actually put an Eichi I next to an Eichi II, you will find that the porcelain has a little bit more milkiness compared to what they use for the dial in the Eichi II. The movement is out of Seiko's Micro Artist Studio, which is where they do the best of their finishing and assembly. And it's really something to behold. It's also one of the very rare 36mm spring drive movements that Seiko's ever released. Please bid hard on it because it really deserves a great owner, and whoever owns it next, don't sell it, keep it. Okay, next. I really wanted to see this because I just think it's so cool. This is a 6238 in gold, and then it's been engraved all over by, I'm not familiar with the engraver, but apparently he is a very famous knife engraver. And the engraving has survived well, and it's beautiful, and it's all over the place. On the case, on the bezel, it's even on the clasp. Okay, next up, this is lot number 87, and arguably one of the most important lots in this particular auction. This is the 5th 3970, like the 5th ever made, because this is from the first series. So the first series is characterized by leaf hands and square markers rather than pointed markers. The case shape actually is a little bit different from the later series. Like the first series case shape, first and second series case shapes were a little bit more similar to the 2499 in how they felt on the wrist. The later ones became actually a little bit more compact. This thing has, like, it comes with everything, and the condition is just awesome. It's really like kind of a piece of history. Anyway, check it out. Okay, we're gonna wrap up with lot number 46. This is actually one of my watches in the auction. I'm letting it go because I wasn't wearing enough, but it's really a wonderful piece. This is the Credor Raden. And so Raden refers to a technique of mother of pearl inlaid into urushi lacquer. And for this particular one, they actually laser cut all the little mother of pearl inlays, and that's how they make them so slim. And then they inlay them onto the dial. And as you move it, it just has this incredible sparkle and color to it. I fitted mine with a Stab bracelet because it just happened to fit the case of this so well. The case is stainless steel, so you can absolutely use this as a daily wear. And it's also got Credor's ultra thin movement in there as well. An incredible piece from the catalog. Like, please, best of wishes to the new owner. Like, I hope you'll bid hard for it. All right, so that is it for my little roundup of watches at the Toki Auction, which is happening November 22nd in Hong Kong. You know, I've barely scratched the surface because there are a lot of really amazing and interesting and beautiful pieces in this particular auction. I highly recommend you check out the catalog. And actually, Masa Nakajima and Naoya Hida are going to be in town. They've actually come to join us here in Hong Kong for the next couple of days, and they'll be at the auction preview. So if you have a couple minutes to come and see the auction preview here in West Kowloon, like, come and say hi to them, come and ask them questions about watches, because they're super fun guys, they're super interesting to talk to, and you'll definitely learn something. All right, best of luck in the bidding, and that's it for now. Thanks for watching.